Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. This Birds of a Feather podcast with your boy Q City.
You were Todd Bravado.
And this is the after game live. So Taj, I'm just gonna be real with you, dog. Like we talked about, I'm on borrowed time, so probably ain't gonna be that long, but I'm gonna just say it straight up. It's over for Kirk, bro. It's over for Kirk. And honestly, I thought coming into this game he was gonna give you two picks, but most likely two touchdowns, and we was gonna be fooled into thinking that he got his swagger back.
Oh, he
It
had
was
me
one
fooled
and
that
one.
first drive.
No, it was 1-1, but he really could have threw three picks. And like it's
Especially on that. Now, this last one, Kurt got some blame, but why were we passing in the first place on that third down at the end of the game?
100%. So like, but I can't even truly blame the play calling, bro. Like
I can. Why you
the
stopping the clock and they ain't got no
execute.
timeouts?
Okay, yeah, toward the late end of the game. But I'm saying like the execution throughout
Oh
the
yeah,
game to even
Kurt.
put us in that
Yeah,
situation. To even put us in that situation. My man's was like, "Oh, bro, a win is a win." I said, "Bro, that was disgusting. That was disgusting. There's no way you left that game feeling like the Falcons are. Yeah, you. It's like smashing a three. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you got a nut, but at what cost? You know what I'm saying? Like, at what cost, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was disgusting, bro. Like that game was trash. Kirk is that's it. That should be and it's easy to pile on after a loss. Oh no, he's terrible. Oh, everything's wrong or whatever. Kirk is the issue. After a loss, my man's after a win, you need to really be looking like this is all you can give me,
because
and
like
we
I
need
was
to we need
talking,
to direction.
I was talking to my homeboy, and I was like, it's like we're winning the game, but I still feel like we're being embarrassed on national TV.
1,000%. The Vikings put up 30 on the Bears because the Bears are a bad team this year. Bijan went off. Bijan did his thing, over 1,000 yards for the season. Like we talked about, he's having an amazing season. You know what I'm saying? But like, nah, man, nah. It is beyond time to just go ahead and let it go with Kurt.
Yeah, they
And
won't,
I
but
don't.
it's time.
And so like, I think for me, one of the things I'm looking at is what are the financial ramifications of this? Because it's obvious that like this is no longer tenable. So like, are you gonna cut him at the end of the year? I don't even want to. This sounds sacrilegious, and I know it sounds messed up, but like, bro, I don't even want to get in the playoffs at this point, bro. And I know you said you want to, but like, I don't even want to get in the playoffs at this point, dog.
Speak for yourself. Because look,
But I saw
this
I saw a
because
tweet.
look, this is no longer about the
Go ahead.
Falcons anymore. Like the Falcons don't deserve to be in there, but I deserve a team that's in the playoffs. Fuck what they don't deserve it, but I do. This is for me. I've been watching these
He
niggas
said,
for
"I'm gonna get
since
my."
2017 not make the playoffs. I deserve this.
Nah, that's my thing. Is I saw a tweet and it totally encapsulated how I felt. Where we was 6-3. It was like we're 6-3, squandered a 3-game lead with the team that we had the tiebreaker against, and now even if we could win out and lose the playoffs, like we could win out and not make the playoffs. And one of the things that we're saying was like, bro, we don't deserve to make it at this point. Cause like, how the hell were we 6-3 and now we're hoping for another team to lose? And I said, bro, that's real. That's real, dog. There's no
Y'all
reason
seen
for
that?
us. Yeah, there's no reason for us to had the start that we had and be where we are currently.
That's why it ain't about them. It's about me.
And I also seen another one that was like, yo, that end of season press conference where where where
So buzzwords.
yeah, and he was like, 10-7 teams usually make the playoffs, and this is a building block for a year and whatnot. And I was like, bro, I can already see this train coming down the tracks. Because ain't
I
it the
mean,
Giants next week?
if it's 10, but look, I ain't gonna lie, 10-17, even I would still be okay. I mean, 10-7, I would still be okay.
If you're 10-7 and miss the playoffs,
They ain't doing enough, but hey, it's better than 7-10. Like I still want to see my team win, regardless of all of the politics that go with the picks. I still want to see my team win. I really don't care about a better draft pick because we done had four straight top. We done had four straight top 10 draft picks, and it ain't brought us nowhere. Pick somewhere else for a change. I'm tired of just losing for. Fuck all that. Well, we got a better. Fuck that. I'm tired of that shit. I don't want to hear no more of that. I want a better draft pick for what? We picked 4, 8, 8, 8, 8. What? What?
yeah,
What did it bring us?
yeah, 8 3 years in a row.
Like what did that realistically bring us? Just win the game. I don't even care if we miss the playoffs. Just win the damn games.
Well, I mean, if you ask what it brought us
Yeah, I mean it
AJ.
brought us Bijan, it brought us Penix, it brought us Drake, but still, where the wins at?
I
Because
understand.
because because for every one of the players that we pick, you can find someone that will pick better after them. Every single one of them.
I get it. I don't
So like
disagree.
I don't care for the we should lose like win games. I don't win games. Fuck that
I'm
draft
not
pick. Win
saying we should.
games.
I'm not saying we should lose out.
This isn't you. This is just the collective of people that have that mindset.
No, I'm not saying we should lose out. I am saying we can we can strive to win games while also building for the future on the pick that we made.
Oh yeah, I mean, but they're not gonna. The thing is, Penix ain't playing this year.
He's not. He's not. And they basically came out and just said it this week. You know what I'm saying? With like we
Yeah,
saw how it
they like his
looked when other
development
guys
and all
other
that.
guys into it.
No, that's their
So
cop out. The real reason is because they gave Kirk $100 million and they can't bitch him this year. Because, like, it is what it is. The egg's already on your face. You might as well eat it.
and like you rightfully pointed out at the draft, you said it at the draft, you said it that night, and then you said it on the pod right after. So you guys, you can go back and look at this, cite me on it. But you said you was like, I don't think they planned to take him. And I was like, no, they didn't think they was gonna have to pick this high, blah blah blah. You was like, no, I don't think they planned to take him. Then a couple weeks later, they come out and they were like, he was our second player overall on the board. You know what I'm saying? Like we couldn't pass him up at 8. And how they've handled this season has led me to believe that, like, from the play calling to the fan noise to there's no circumstance in which any quarterback would have a 1 touchdown, 9 interception, 1-4 record,
Team.
and there be no
Oh no,
conversation of
yeah,
benching.
right. It's money. Simply put, it's just money. And I mean, if it's cool, but like, I mean, they're not realistically going to tell us the real reason why, but
Oh damn!
that's the reason.
All right,
They're not going
well,
to admit that
I
on
think we lost
cameras.
Taj. Let me see if I can get him back in a second.
But it is what it is.
Go
They're just
ahead and
going to keep
try
on
to
playing in our face like we don't got
try
no
to get
common
him back
sense.
here. Nah, you guys, what I was saying was like, there's no situation in which a quarterback goes 4 game losing streak, 1 in 4 and 5 games, 1 touchdown, 9 interceptions, and there's no conversation of benching. There's no, oh hey, you know, let's look and
But
see
we're
what
getting
we
win.
have in the quarterback room. You even look at the team we played tonight. You look at the team we played tonight, the Raiders, right? The Raiders, before Minshew got hurt, they benched him.
Mm-hmm.
Before Minshew got hurt, they benched him for Aiden McConnell. Played McConnell, and then back to um played McConnell. McConnell was bad. They went back to Minshew. Minshew got hurt, right? And then McConnell got hurt. That's how we even got Ritter tonight. But like, there's never There's
Okay, you
never
completely just cut out for like the past like minute.
no. I know. I resent it. I sent another invite and whatnot. You went out like your thing left. You came back.
Oh, I was here the whole time I'm sitting there watching. He's just sitting. But yeah, hold up.
Either way, what I was saying was like there's never a situation in which there's no conversation of switching a quarterback. You look at the team we faced tonight. They left Minshew, went to McConnell, went back to Minshew. Minshew got hurt. McConnell got hurt. That's how we got Ritter. But like, there's never a stretch of football in which a quarterback can play the way Kirk's played, and there's no conversation without major pelts on the wall, without
Yeah,
it being like a Mahomes, Burrow, Jackson type of quarterback.
yeah.
That there's no conversation of starting, and that leads me to believe, like, bro, y'all didn't have a plan when you took Penix. You saw it. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when you doing franchise on Madden, and like you scout somebody all year, and it's like projected number one by him,
And
and
you
it
don't
gets to
think you're
your
gonna
place
get
and
him,
he's still
so you be like, well, shit.
there. It don't matter what you got on your team. You be like, I can't pass up on him, and that's what it looks like happened because like it does not look like they have a plan to even start Penix this year.
Well, I mean, realistically, there was never gonna be a plan to start him this year anyway because you paid the quarterback $100 million. Starting
Because you
Penix
paid
was
him.
never Penix. The Penix, like no matter what, like there was never a plan to start him because you paid the quarterback $100 million. Now next year, that conversation has to happen
I
because
think it needs to happen this offseason, to be honest with you.
that's what I'm saying.
Especially
That's what I mean by next year.
yeah. Depending on how the season plays out,
No,
I think it's
regardless of
going to
how
be
the season plays out, y'all have to have a conversation.
I think it's going to be very hard coming off a playoff appearance. Like you said, 7 years, no playoffs. It's going to be very hard coming off a playoff
I don't
appearance
know.
to
No, it won't because the Chiefs did it.
the Chiefs did it for Patrick Mahomes.
The better quarterback.
Ah, that's true. That's true. Speaking of which, we could touch on this one and then we'll dip out. So it's been refuted by Falcons players, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like somebody said it.
Oh, of course
Uh,
they gonna refute it because they got out because the dude opened his mouth. They were like, well, "It wasn't." Person they was like, "It wasn't me."
yeah.
Like,
So
remember that meme? Russell Westbrook sitting on the thing eating that burger. He's like, that's the person who said it. It wasn't me.
So for y'all who don't know, on Friday, on FS1, there was a report that came out that said players in the locker room were saying Kirk needs to be benched. Michael Penix is the better quarterback, right? And there was a lot of like buzz around it, and then Darnell Mooney came out and said, "Man, ain't nobody say that shit." You know what I'm saying? Like, cool. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've talked to players anytime, and I don't have a bunch of access. So like there is never a situation in which I would take something that a player or anybody withstanding, like a scout person or anybody close to an organization says, and just say that lightly or flippantly, right? Because like my name on the line, and I don't have a lot of cachet. And I feel like the bigger you get, the more important that becomes.
Yeah.
So there is no world in which I think he just made that up out of thin air.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. He ain't making it up. They
And,
gonna say what
and
it is because it's their duty to protect their teammate, which is Kirk. But somebody said that, and whether they, regardless of what they said, they probably feel it too.
yeah,
And
like
even the play calling even showing it because if you watch the Raiders games, they don't trust Kirk.
now I will say, one of the things that they brought out in the broadcast, me and you have been harping on for weeks. I think this was the national media's second-ish time seeing this iteration, second or third time seeing this iteration of the Falcons. We don't do play action as much as we should. But bro, every single play action we did tonight got blown the fuck up. It was terrible tonight. And on the flip side of that, I think we're gonna have one more primetime game this year. I think it's possible we have two more,
I don't think they
but
go. Ain't no way in hell we have two, but I don't think they be getting that one.
if we win next week, I they're gonna flex out that Browns Dolphins
No,
game
they gonna give it to the Rams
for
Cardinals. They
Falcons.
ain't gonna give it to us.
They're gonna give it Falcons Commanders.
They gonna give it to the Rams Cardinals. That's gonna be a more appetizing game because look, I would have been all aboard if we would have won this game in the fashion that you're supposed to beat a team like the Raiders. We limped like they're not giving us that game. No one wants to watch that.
Nah,
I
true.
didn't even want to watch that.
That's true. That's yeah. That was you. You
The,
kind of got a point there.
they're all there. This was the audition for that other primetime game, and they're like, I don't think no one want to watch Kirk Cousins.
I think it depends on what happens next week because if Arizona loses next week, Rams win, that game becomes far less entertaining because the Rams are already a game up on the Cardinals right now.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, if we beat the Commanders, guess what? We're still out the playoffs. So
Yeah, but then the following week, one game gets flexed. Either
the following week, we still need help.
no, to be honest with you, the following week, I think both games will go on at the same time. It makes it more interesting because
They're not.
if
There's no reason to flex this into another primetime game on week 18. It's not
yeah,
happening. They might make it a 4 o'clock game, but they're not flexing this into the primetime game. That's not happening.
because I was gonna say if the I think the Bucks, Saints, and us Panthers needs to go on at the same time because whichever if we play first, then the Bucks we might go first actually because then the Bucks know they have something to play for. But if the Bucks go first and they win, we don't have anything to play for at that point.
But I'm also pretty sure the Commanders game they're going to decide that flex on like Wednesday.
So we'll see. We'll see ahead of time to know what they're gonna do there. But it's the Giants next week. First, like we got to get past the Giants. This is one game at a time.
I mean, it's another
Um,
bad team, so we should win it. It's going to be ugly.
you tonight came down to two Hail Marys.
Yeah, that's to say it's going.
Tonight,
I said it's going to be ugly. I didn't say it was going to be easy. I said we should win it, but it's going to be ugly.
like
We're going to win it simply because they don't want to win.
yeah, they probably tanking for Ward because it's the Raiders want Shador, but like this was one of the most disgusting like wins, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, you think tape will be out tomorrow? Well, we got to do the pod tomorrow anyway, so because it drops on Wednesday. So if the tape's out tomorrow, I'll check the tape tomorrow.
It's all
But
tomorrow.
like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I I am scared to look at this because I think it's gonna be as ugly as the game actually looked.
I mean, defense is good.
The defense is Jimmy Lake. He can't now. Granted, this is an anemic offense. This is a terrible offense that we're going against. But
True, but
Jimmy Lake has turned it around since the bye week.
in the past 3 games, we got 12 sacks.
Yeah, he's turned it around
We're
since the bye
averaging
week.
4 sacks a game. Like, would have been lovely to have this at the beginning of the season, but hey,
Well,
beggars
no,
can't be choosers.
to be fair, he said we were getting the pressure. We just weren't getting home. We just weren't getting the numbers. He did say that. And I just overall, I think that this team has showed you who they're going to be. They showed you their ceiling. They showed you what they're going to be all about. I think that continuing to play Kirk just shows like an organizational stubbornness that is not healthy. Can't be healthy.
I mean, it is what it is. When you spend that kind of money, you're kind of hamstrung.
That's true. That's true.
It's like
And
for at least this year, it has no choice. You at least got to get 1 year out of it.
you do got to get 1 year out of it. We talked about it. The cap hit would suck. The cap hit would suck, but like you, I think Kirk is imploding because this
Oh yeah,
still wasn't a great game. Like, yeah, he
like
finally got a touchdown, but this was like this was not a good game.
Yeah, our best scenario is the Kirk didn't realize, see the writing on the wall, and be like, I think it's time for me to step down. Like, I don't think I got it no more. He won't. He won't do it, but he should.
I
I would
agree.
even get. I would even give. I will even let him keep some of that money just to retire. Look, hey, look, you can retire. We'll let you keep some of this money. Just get the fuck up out of here so we can make a decision. Just make it easy on us.
But the thing is that's bothering me is that like these don't seem like physical type of things. These seem way more mental type of
No,
errors.
they seem physical too because the ball's dying
But like even his pick today, he threw in triple coverage.
because he's late and the ball can't get there as fast. It's like he probably thinking, "Oh, I got enough arm," and it's not getting there
Yeah. It just
because
overall.
because given he still can't really drive off that back foot like he once had. And the thing is, it's like this. I mean, the injury plays a part into it, but it's probably not in the way that most people are probably thinking. Because you got to look at it like this: he's coming off of an injury, but he was still working back from it. Whenever you're coming back from an injury, you're overcompensating in other areas.
True.
So he's still overcompensating for the lack of that heel, even though it's probably healthy right now.
He's
So
going
therefore,
all arm on some throws, which
yeah,
would cause you to be late.
yeah. But if you don't have an arm to begin with, it don't like it's even worse. Kirk never had a strong arm,
Mm-hmm.
and Kirk's going into year 37, age 37. It, like realistically, you can't put that man back on the field next season because like he started out good and then like as you said, he's imploded.
And like I said, I think it's a shock of confidence. I think it's a fundamental like a fundamental misremembering of what your role was supposed to be earlier in the season, and like maybe we're fooled a bit by that Saquon drop because you led a really great drive after that. You scored a touchdown.
Oh,
In
I
all truth
wasn't
and
fooled by that. That
honesty,
was pure luck.
yeah, honestly, we could have started the season 0-3.
Look. If
Like
the fans forward they stuff on it, that's their own damn fault. They gaslit themselves. That ain't had nothing to do with Kirk. That's your fault. It's a fan. You saw that
I did,
man boot drop. Kirk just got lucky.
yeah, because I think what that was our first, yeah, because the first week was the Steelers. I was in Vegas, so we didn't do the. Are you going to Vegas this year? We'll talk about that offline. My fault. My fault. We'll talk about that offline. Um, but yeah, that was our first game we did the live, and if I'm not mistaken, I think you came on the live and was like, "Nah, bro, that shit was luck." If I'm not mistaken, or we
Probably.
couldn't get it up. We couldn't get it up. We couldn't get the live up.
Yeah.
We did it for the Chiefs game. Yeah. So, but nah, I because I remember you saying like it was just pure
That's
luck.
such
But
a
like,
wild statement, but yeah.
what we couldn't get it up for the Chiefs game. I mean, hey,
No, we
two
couldn't
hands,
get
a
it
lot of
because
spit, bro.
no, because you come on say we couldn't get it up. We couldn't get it up. I'm like the double down. All right.
Hey, look, hey, goddamn, take the blue pill and a honey pack, goddamn. Anyway, like, keep pushing. Hey, look, y'all need to sponsor us. Anyway,
Just
nah, but
bro
in all truth,
starts.
man. In all truth, maybe like you said, fans gaslit themselves. Maybe I'm fans. Like maybe it's me. I'm niggas. But like we were 6-3, dog.
Yeah, we
I
were.
feel like a black Israelite saying that. Like we was the kings, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, but like I can't stress enough how commanding of a lead that was when our only competition we already had a 2 game, like we had a sweep on. And like you said, I hate doing that because it seems so gimmicky. But if you take out the Tampa games, this has been Kirk all season.
Now he ain't been this bad. Like it definitely hit a point to where like I either the defense is caught up to what he can and can't do, and just started playing it. All right, look, just play the receiver tight. He gonna give you one eventually.
And he has been. He
Because
has been.
this man done threw a pick in 5 straight games, and it might be longer.
100%. Because it looks like it. It looks like it. I couldn't. There hasn't been a game that we entered in the past month of some change that I was like, Kurt's gonna play a clean game, clean football game. The people I expect to play a clean game, I expect Bijan and Tyler not to put the ball on the floor. I expect maybe a drop from London. I expect
I don't expect drops from
also
London.
also we be getting on Kyle for lazy routes, right? Um,
No, you
and
be
I
getting no
get it.
competition. I be defending them.
Yeah, well, yeah, me and pretty much everybody else who watched the tape be like Kyle lazy routes, and you be like, nah, man, Kyle just he chilling, bro, whatever.
No, the nigga 6'6". They even said it on the broadcast. The Falcons are trying to hone in on getting routes to where he doesn't have to be choppy and to where he can just build momentum. They even said it on the broadcast.
All right, so the point is, I was finna throw a little, not full on slander, but just like a this is interesting. I want to watch it on film. Uh, London in the run plays, specifically ones that have him on weak side formation, right? When you know Bijan's a cutback type of back. So like I'm gonna watch that because like there were 3 plays I noticed where he didn't even come off the line. Now that's not entirely rare for an X wide receiver, but like one of those you was lined up in the slot, which means you could have been the last defense for a big run. And you've always been like a super willing and able blocker. So like that's interesting to me. I wanna look at that. And that could just be me nitpicking because I'm
Probably.
frustrated with the offense as a whole,
No,
right?
I'm not frustrated with the offense. I'm frustrated with Kirk.
No, I'm frustrated with the offense as a whole, bro. And then like I saw I saw on Twitter they was like, if you don't trust Koo for a 55-yard field goal in Vegas, like why is he on the team? Like for that type of game, I completely understood, especially at that point in the game. I understood not giving up that level of field position. But on the same token, that's a microcosm of who Koo has been this whole season, bro.
Okay. To be honest, you said a 55 yarder, right?
It was 55 yarder.
Okay.
There's no wind, and it's in
You
Vegas, so
know,
out.
it's like this is how I know niggas ain't watch ball. Cool just not kick this first year. This was the first year in his career he got to kick over 53. He don't typically kick long hit field goals. That's his career. That ain't just a microcosm of this year. That's who he is as a whole. They
But
kicked that.
he's knocked the 57 and 56 in this year
No, he hasn't. He knocked the 57 down.
in the Saints game.
He knocked. That might have been desperation, but those are the only times he ever did it. This year, it ain't. Before that, 53 was his career long, and then he's coming off of a hip or leg injury, whatever type of injury it is. It's not shocking that they said, we gonna pass on the 55. That's not shocking, considering
I think
he don't have a history of long field goals like that.
I don't think it engenders confidence running him out there. Then
I mean, I don't know what the hell Raheem. I don't know if it's Raheem or Marquise Williams, but there's been some very questionable special team plays these past 2 weeks. Like we do a punt, get a penalty, accept the penalty, go back out there on 4th and 2, and then take a penalty just to punt it again.
yeah,
There's been a lot of
1,000.
questionable decisions been made. Like, yeah, but
You know what? I'm gonna give you something. I'm gonna give you something, and I want you to because we pushing right up against that 30. But I want you to sit on this, and we'll probably discuss a little bit more in the pod, bro. I don't think Antonio Pierce is a great coach schematically, like X's
No,
and O's.
he's a Dan Campbell type coach.
Yeah, he's more so like rah. And like Dan Campbell, great example. Early, early, and even now to an extent, the Lions aren't great on like detail things,
Nigga, that's what I
right?
said. I said this 2 weeks ago on the pod.
Yeah, so like
I said the
they
Raiders remind me of the early Lions.
yeah, so they're not great on detailed things, right? And then like I saw it a couple point times in the Raiders game. But for me, I'm not saying anybody. For me, my ideal coach is like the Belichick, Andy Reid type. So like really like point to details, knowing the rules type stuff. So that to me, I equate to like not being a great coach, right? It's why like Tomlin to me is not like an elite coach. I feel like he's a great coach. I don't feel like he's an elite coach because even still after all these years, his teams are not as buttoned up as they could be. It's neither here nor there, right? Um
That was insane for you to say, but he's not a
we get
great coach. I
did I did you listen to the words I said?
I heard what you said. It was foolishness, but
I said he is a great coach.
no,
I don't.
you said he's not an elite coach.
I don't consider him elite. No, that's a me thing. That's
And a Super Bowl winner, not an elite coach. A nigga that's never had a coach that's never had a losing season, is not an elite coach. All right.
Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl. Mike McCarthy just won 12,
A,
12 games in a row.
a coach that's never had a losing season is not an elite coach. All right.
I just
He
once
don't know
again,
what a losing season is. And you say he in the league. Come on,
bro, like there's a lot of 8 and 8s in
bro.
there. We can.
Do you eight to that? Do you know he's the only coach that never had a losing season? Do you know how difficult that is?
I'm not taking that away. I'm not taking that away.
You can't
But okay, so
you can't call a man that's never had a losing season
there's
not
two,
elite.
so there's two sides of that coin. There's two sides of that
There's
coin.
only one side. He's never
No,
lost. He's never
listen.
lost. There's only one side. Never had a losing season. That's the only side. Never
Okay,
having a
yeah.
losing season.
Never had a losing season. How many times has he had a top two seed and not made the AFC Championship game?
Hey, it happens.
Well,
Andy Reid had the same issue with the Eagles.
Andy Reid went
He
to 5 straight NFC Championship
yeah,
games
and
in
never
one
made a
season.
bowl. It made what, one bowl?
So like because his teams are buttoned up, that's proving my point. That's not even the point I was trying to get to. The point I was trying to get to was I view that as like your team not being super buttoned up as like a sign of like not a really great coach. What I'm noticing about the Falcons is that like a lot of those procedural errors, a lot of those like dumb bonehead ass penalties tend to show up in our team too, and I lay that at the feet of our coach.
I
Right?
mean, I get what you're saying. However, like outside of last week's game, we were the fifth least penalized team in the league.
When you're watching the game, does it seem that way?
I mean, you can say a lot of things when you're watching the game because you got to look at things like when you're only focusing on the Falcons, yeah, it's going to seem like, oh damn, we get. But when you look at the whole scope of things, we're the fifth least penalized team. That means you got 27 more teams that's penalized way more than us. But like, I don't like that. It's easy to focus on it because the worst thing is the timing of the penalties. We're not a heavily
Yeah.
penalized team; it's the timing. But I mean, there's 27 other teams that have more penalties than us.
Yeah, but is that not attention to detail?
But there's 27 more teams with more penalties than us.
Yeah. Once again, I think I'm a ruminate on that one. We'll come back on that one because that one's kind of bothering me, right?
I
Where I
mean, yeah,
look
but
at
there's
it,
27 more teams with more penalties than us.
I get it. Hey, look, this may and I may not be phrased.
And look, I'm not absolving him in that because there's some shit they got to clean up. But the
I
whole
may
discipline
not.
thing, there's 27 more teams less disciplined than us.
So remember how I said the Jets got a bad defense, and like we worked on the wording of that. This might
Yeah,
be one I need to work on the wording on, but like the timing of our penalties, that's part of it. The timing of our penalties, when they happen in drives, where they happen in drives, and this not just because I'm emotionally connected to the game. It's literally like it's almost like we actively sabotage momentum at times,
yeah,
and
I
that's
agree.
like
But like, that's an execution thing because if like it only happens at the worst possible times. Like things be rolling, dumbass penalty. Because offensive lineman want to hold, or like a lot of them times it don't even be penalties because like they call like Beason had a run that got out to the 1 yard line. They called a low block on Chris Lynch when he tripped.
Yeah, they called a false start on
False
Matthews, and
start,
yeah,
holding. Like some of these calls are like shit that like it's like petty ass calls that typically don't get called. I can understand if it was just egregious, but I mean, given they are egregious because of the ramifications of what happens after killing a good drive, but those fall on the players more so than the coaching because it's not like because again they're not heavily penalized. They don't they well, but outside of that last game they were the fifth least penalized team.
well, we'll see. We'll
That's
see
on
how they
that's
are.
more on players than it is the coaches.
We'll stack up after this week, you guys. Tune in on Wednesday. Drop the pod. We'll actually be going live Tuesday night. So if you want a sneak peek, y'all can go ahead, tune into the live. But the actual pod will be out Wednesday morning. I promise y'all we're gonna do the betting pod this week. I promise y'all we're gonna do the betting pod this week. Um, Mainly I blame Taj, but more importantly I blame me. Because it was me this week. I get that it was me. Right. So yeah, we gonna get together. Betting pod will be out. Gonna include some college football and whatnot. We got a great weekend of football coming up. So you guys tune in. Birds of Feather, ATL, Betting Pod, all coming out this week. It's been your boy Q City.
Your boy Todd Barato.
We out.
Peace.
That was me.